At 74, Bishop Paul Morton finally spoke the truth about his wife, and what he revealed left everyone stunned. Decades of speculation, whispers, and rumors have haunted their name, but today, all secrets are coming to light. This isn't just a confession, it's a revelation that could change how the world sees one of gospel music's most influential families. You won't believe what he admitted, and the story behind it is far more complicated than anyone imagined. Stay with me, because what comes next is shocking, emotional, and completely unexpected. Bishop Paul Morton has long been a towering figure in gospel music and ministry, admired for his talent, leadership, and powerful presence. But behind the accolades, behind the sold-out concerts and public appearances, rumors about his personal life, especially regarding his wife, have circulated for decades. Until now, none of it had been confirmed. In this video, we're diving deep into the revelation that shocked fans and insiders alike. You won't believe what Bishop Morton finally admitted, the kind of truths that have been whispered behind closed doors for years. This is where it gets unbelievable. A story of love, controversy, loyalty, and secrets finally brought into the light. We'll explore the personal struggles, the private battles, and the societal pressures that led to this long-awaited confession. By the end of this video, you'll understand not just what was revealed, but why it matters for Bishop Morton, his wife, and the thousands of fans who have followed their story for years. This isn't just gossip, it's a rare emotional glimpse into a family that has been in the public eye for decades. And the truth may surprise even those who thought they knew the whole story. Bishop Paul Morton's journey to becoming a gospel icon was built on talent, determination, and faith. Born into a world where music and ministry were intertwined, Paul's early life was shaped by church, choir rehearsals, and the vibrant energy of gospel traditions. From a young age, he demonstrated not just a love for music, but an uncanny ability to inspire others with his voice and leadership. His rise to prominence was anything but overnight. Through years of dedication, countless performances, and unwavering commitment to his craft, Paul became one of gospel music's most respected figures. Audiences were drawn to his unique blend of spiritual passion and musical excellence. His songs weren't just performances, they were messages of hope, healing, and resilience. Fans connected with him not only as an entertainer, but as a spiritual guide. However, as his public profile grew, so did the scrutiny on his personal life. While his professional achievements were celebrated, whispers and rumors about his marriage began to surface. Fans and insiders alike speculated about his wife and their private life, curious about what lay behind the carefully curated public image. Despite the curiosity, Bishop Morton remained largely silent, focusing on ministry, music, and maintaining a reputation for integrity and faith. Yet behind the public persona, there were complexities that few knew about. The balance between fame, family, and personal struggles is never easy, especially in the gospel world where leaders are expected to embody perfection. Paul and his wife faced challenges, pressures, and questions that tested their bond, loyalty, and love. These were struggles kept out of the spotlight, carefully shielded from public eyes, until now. And just when it seemed like Bishop Morton's life was all about accolades and success, a moment came that would force him to confront the rumors head-on. A revelation that would expose truths long hidden and finally answer the questions fans had been asking for decades. What he admitted next didn't just clarify past whispers, it left audiences stunned and opened a new chapter in the Morton story. As Bishop Paul Morton's career soared, whispers about his personal life grew louder. Rumors circulated in gospel circles, social media chatter, and even among fans who followed his every move. For years, questions about his wife and their private life were raised in hushed tones, some out of curiosity, others driven by speculation and hearsay. But Paul and his family had always remained tight-lipped, maintaining a dignified silence in the face of public scrutiny. The rumors weren't just minor gossip, they carried weight, affecting public perception and fueling endless debates. Questions ranged from the nature of their relationship to alleged controversies surrounding financial decisions, ministry leadership, and personal disagreements. Every public appearance and social media post was analyzed, dissected, and interpreted as evidence of hidden truths. For a couple that valued privacy, this relentless scrutiny was exhausting. Behind the scenes, the pressure began to mount. Friends, colleagues, and even family members urged Bishop Morton to address the rumors directly. Some argued that silence could be interpreted as confirmation, while others cautioned that speaking out might ignite more controversy. The stakes were high. How could a man who had built his life on faith, integrity, and public ministry respond without jeopardizing decades of reputation? Amid the scrutiny, Bishop Morton's wife became the focus of attention. Media outlets and public discussions questioned her role, character, and influence in both his personal and professional life. For her, this was not just about curiosity. It was invasive and deeply personal. She had supported her husband through decades of ministry, tours, and leadership, yet her name was repeatedly dragged into conversations she had no control over. The tension between public perception and private reality was immense, and it created a storm that the Mortons could no longer ignore. Despite the rumors, the couple stayed united, navigating the pressure with careful discretion. But the longer the silence lasted, the more intense the speculation became. The questions from fans, media, and the gospel community were relentless. Was there truth to the whispers? Were there conflicts or secrets being hidden? Could the Mortons' relationship survive decades of public curiosity? And then came the moment that changed everything. Bishop Paul Morton finally decided that enough was enough. At 74, he knew it was time to step forward, confront the rumors, and reveal the truths that had been concealed for years. What he admitted was more shocking than anyone had anticipated, a revelation that would finally close the chapter on decades of speculation. And yet, it opened a whole new story about love, loyalty, and resilience in the face of relentless scrutiny. But what exactly did he reveal? The answer was both personal and deeply emotional, leaving audiences stunned, fans reflective, and insiders speechless. What happened next didn't just clarify the rumors, it changed the narrative forever. After decades of silence, Bishop Paul Morton finally spoke. At 74, he stepped into the public eye with a message that no one expected, a confirmation of every rumor, every whispered speculation, and every question that had followed him and his wife for years. But this was not a confession born out of guilt or scandal. It was a revelation grounded in honesty, vulnerability, and a desire to set the record straight once and for all. The announcement was made during a private interview that quickly went viral, sparking reactions across social media, gospel communities, and mainstream media alike. With a voice that carried both authority and emotion, Bishop Morton spoke candidly about his marriage, his wife's role in his life, and the truths that had been misrepresented for decades. He revealed that his wife had always been more than what the public had assumed. Beyond being his partner in life, she had been his confidant, advisor, and unwavering support system through the highs and lows of ministry. Every accusation or rumor that painted her in a negative light was rooted in misunderstanding or misrepresentation. Bishop Morton admitted that the pressure of public scrutiny had created a distorted view of their marriage, and it was time to correct the narrative. The emotional weight of this confession was palpable. Bishop Morton spoke about the personal struggles they had endured together, challenges with health, leadership responsibilities, and the constant expectations from fans and the church community. He admitted that maintaining their marriage in the public eye was not easy, and that the rumors, while frustrating, were a test of their faith, loyalty, and commitment to each other. Tears welled up in his eyes as he described the impact of years of speculation, not just on him, but on his wife. He shared stories of private conversations, moments of doubt, and instances where their bond was questioned by outsiders. Yet, through it all, they remained steadfast, proving that love, trust, and shared faith could withstand the scrutiny of the world. What made this revelation even more powerful was the authenticity with which it was delivered. Bishop Morton did not shy away from admitting vulnerabilities or acknowledging the strain that public life had placed on their marriage. Instead, he embraced it fully, showing that honesty and transparency could turn decades of rumor into a story of resilience and devotion. And just when it seemed the confession had revealed everything, Bishop Morton shared an intimate detail, a rare insight into a personal sacrifice his wife had made that no one knew about. This revelation left everyone present speechless, highlighting not only the depth of their relationship, but also the extraordinary character of his wife. It was a reminder that behind every public figure, there is a private story of courage, sacrifice, and enduring love. But the impact didn't stop there. The gospel community, fans, and media all reacted, sparking conversations about respect, privacy, and the strength of marriages under pressure. And while some were surprised, many were inspired, realizing that true commitment and partnership often thrive quietly, away from the glare of public attention. This confession marked a turning point, not just for Bishop Morton and his wife, but for the way people view the intersection of fame, faith, and personal life. It was proof that truth, when spoken courageously, has the power to heal reputations, strengthen relationships, and set the record straight once and for all. The moment Bishop Paul Morton confirmed the rumors about his wife, the response was immediate and widespread. Fans across the globe reacted with shock, curiosity, and, in many cases, admiration. Social media platforms flooded with messages praising his honesty and applauding the courage it took to finally speak the truth. Hashtags began trending, videos analyzing the confession went viral, and conversations erupted in gospel circles that had long avoided these sensitive topics. Many fans admitted that the confession changed their perception not just of Bishop Morton, but of his wife as well. For years, the public had speculated about her influence, character, and role in his life, often drawing conclusions based on incomplete or misleading information. Now, hearing the truth straight from Bishop Morton himself, people began to recognize her steadfast dedication, resilience, and unwavering support. Comments poured in, "This gives me hope about marriage. Finally, the truth we all needed," and "What a powerful example of love and loyalty." The gospel music industry also took notice. Fellow artists, ministry leaders, and collaborators expressed admiration for Bishop Morton's transparency. Some admitted privately that they had faced similar pressures in their own marriages and that his courage to speak openly was inspiring. Conversations began emerging within the community about how fame and public scrutiny can strain relationships and how honesty and communication are essential for sustaining both personal and professional bonds. Media outlets, too, picked up the story, but with varying tones. While some focused on the sensational aspect of confirming long-standing rumors, others highlighted the emotional depth, emphasizing the vulnerability and authenticity Bishop Morton displayed. Analysts praised him for addressing speculation with dignity and honesty, rather than allowing it to fester into gossip or controversy. For Bishop Morton and his wife, the public reaction was bittersweet. While they were grateful for the support, they were also reminded of the scrutiny that comes with being in the spotlight. Yet, the confession seemed to strengthen their bond. By confronting the rumors directly, they reclaimed control over their narrative and showed that their marriage could withstand the pressures of fame, public curiosity, and decades of speculation. This moment also sparked deeper reflections among fans and followers. many began to consider the human side of public figures, the sacrifices, the private struggles, and the immense pressure to maintain appearances. Bishop Morton's confession served as a reminder that behind every celebrity, every ministry leader, and every public persona, there is a real person with emotions, vulnerabilities, and a private life deserving of respect. And just when it seemed the story had reached its peak, Bishop Morton shared a lesson that resonated beyond his confession: the importance of standing united, protecting loved ones, and using one's platform responsibly. His words emphasize that transparency and honesty are not just about revealing truths. They are about shaping legacies, inspiring others, and demonstrating that even under pressure, integrity and love can prevail. The ripple effect of this revelation continues to unfold. Conversations are happening in households, church pews, and online forums alike. People are reconsidering how they view relationships, fame, and the delicate balance between personal life and public scrutiny. And as the story spreads, one thing is clear: Bishop Paul Morton's confession is more than news. It's a lesson in courage, authenticity, and the enduring power of love. The confession by Bishop Paul Morton was not just a moment of revelation. It marked the beginning of a profound transformation for him, his wife, and the way the public perceives them. At 74, Bishop Morton demonstrated that age, experience, and wisdom do not prevent growth. Instead, they provide perspective, clarity, and the courage to face the truths that matter most. Following the revelation, Bishop Morton and his wife embarked on a journey of reflection and intentional living. They began to openly discuss the challenges they had faced over decades, the pressures of ministry, public scrutiny, and personal sacrifices that often went unnoticed. The confession, while initially a response to rumors, became a catalyst for strengthening their relationship. It reminded them why they had chosen each other, why they had endured challenges, and how their shared faith had been the foundation keeping them together. This period of transformation also reshaped Bishop Morton's approach to ministry and public life. He realized that transparency and authenticity were not liabilities, but powerful tools for connection. By sharing his truth, he encouraged others in similar situations: couples struggling under scrutiny, individuals battling rumors, and anyone navigating the tension between private life and public expectations. His story became more than a personal revelation. It became a blueprint for resilience, honesty, and integrity. Fans and followers quickly recognized this shift. They saw Bishop Morton not just as a gospel icon, but as a man who embodies vulnerability, courage, and authenticity. Messages poured in from those inspired by his honesty, many sharing their own experiences with struggle and speculation. People began to reflect on the importance of empathy, the harm of assumptions, and the strength found in supporting loved ones through public and private challenges. The legacy of this confession extends beyond social media reactions and news coverage. It reshapes how leaders, artists, and public figures think about their responsibility to those who look up to them. Bishop Morton's decision to speak openly serves as a reminder that protecting loved ones, confronting rumors, and embracing vulnerability are acts of strength, not weakness. Perhaps most importantly, the confession reinforced the enduring power of love and partnership. Bishop Morton repeatedly emphasized his wife's unwavering support, highlighting her sacrifices, wisdom, and dedication over the years. For viewers, this is more than a story about rumor confirmation. It is a testament to the resilience of marriage, the depth of trust, and the courage required to face decades of scrutiny together. And while the public may now know the truths that were long speculated, the Morton's journey reminds us that every revelation carries lessons far beyond the immediate story. It is about courage, accountability, and the transformative power of speaking the truth. It is about facing the past, reclaiming your narrative, and showing the world that honesty and love can coexist even under immense pressure. As we reflect on this story, one message stands clear. Transparency fosters respect, truth fosters understanding, and courage fosters legacy. Bishop Paul Morton's confession is a lesson for all of us, that no matter the rumors, no matter the scrutiny, standing by your truth and honoring those you love can create a legacy far greater than any public image ever could. So, if you were moved by this story, leave a comment below sharing your thoughts, like this video if it inspired you, and subscribe for more exclusive stories that reveal the hidden truths behind your favorite gospel icons. And stay tuned, there's more coming that will continue to inspire, shock, and move you in ways you never imagined.